Hi guys, welcome to Charities Baba USA, your number one channel. I am here, guys, and I'm gonna do a short video to answer your questions because, like I told you guys, I went back to school, so my time is a little bit squeezed, but I have to do this. We have to do this. First of all, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for continuing to ask the questions. Your questions are important. They are important, and I believe that someone out there is getting help from this information. My name is Charity Nganga, and I always like to talk about why I started this new YouTube channel. I did start it because when I came to the US, I didn't know a lot of information. And through reading and through even living here for 8 years, I have gathered some information, and that's what I like sharing with you guys. But when I share, I normally say that when I share something, it's always good to verify. It's always good to verify. For those who are new, I came here to live in the US with a DV lottery. A DV lottery, the green card is commonly known as the green card. And I've lived here for 8 years now, and I talk about my journey. I talk about some of the things that I had to go through, some of the things that I had to do, or some of the things that you are required to do for you to be able to live in this country and at the same time to pursue to become a US citizen. So it's a question and answer session. Questions have been asked. One person asked me, if they had applied for the DV lottery and they did not process it, if they could still qualify to process. Yeah, you do qualify to process. You can go ahead and process your DV lottery. Nobody is going to ask you. They don't care about the past. When it's gone, it's gone. So you go ahead and process your DV lottery. There's another question here. I'm looking at whatever. The nursing shifts that are there, they are 12-hour shifts. Some companies, most companies now are doing 12-hour shifts because we have shortage of healthcare workers. So you find that if you're a nurse, you can go your 3 days and you're done. 12 hours, 3 days, that's a full-time job and you're done. Then you'll go back there next week. You can do 8-hour shifts, but those ones you will be required to work 5 days a week so that you can get your full-time hours, or maybe you have to work at least 32 hours for you to be full-time. So it depends on whatever you fit and the company that you are working on, but you find that there are those schedules. So you normally decide here, you always decide on whatever you want to do. Now, so this one was saying that they're pursuing their American dream via agency, and I wish them all the best. I wish them all the best, guys. Now, let's look at the YouTube channel. There's some few questions there that were asked that I'm going to talk about. This person said about how many months it takes to become a plumber. The months that it takes to become a plumber, you have to go to class, first of all, and do like 280 hours of like classwork. So you find that when you go to school, they will tell you these are the classes that you're supposed to do. They can be 8-week long, they can be 16-week long. It depends on the school that you're going to and the classes that they offer for that certain trade course. Then from there, you can go now do the course. The course you can do the, and maybe some of it is incorporated even with the practical work there at school. But at the same time, when you are done with those hours, if you go to class for those hours, then you can do something called apprenticeship, whereby you go to a certain company and you go there as a student. So as a student, you will be working with them, but you get paid. You are an apprentice. You get paid, and at the same time you are studying. So you are not paid like a fully like a plumber. It's like an internship, but they pay you, but they're teaching you, but at the same time you're getting money, which is very good because you're working and at the same time you're getting money. So that one will take you like 5 years before you are done. And then when you're done, you can practice your plumbing. The only thing maybe that you would require to have is just a local license to practice your plumbing, but you're good to practice your plumbing. It's very, very, very good. It's a very, very good course. My husband is a plumber, but he doesn't practice plumbing because he's involved in another stuff that he's doing. And so, but he didn't do his plumbing over here. He did his plumbing in Kenya. So it's a good course. And like I always come here and sit here is that when you come to the US, you don't have to go and get a degree because not everybody is cut out to go to school and get a degree. If you cannot do that, then go to a trade school. Go to a trade school, go do plumbing, go do electrical, go do mechanic. Even if you're a mechanic back there at home, and you win a DV lottery, and you go and continue here, you to get certification to become a mechanic. It's very good. It's very, very good because you find that here in the US, labor work, manual work, It's very, very hard to pay someone for manual work. Even a carpenter, someone to come maybe and work on your kitchen cabinets and all that stuff. You pay them a lot of money. You know, I was looking at another documentary, and this boy had done whatever, what do we call it, carpentry, and it's just building housing and all that, and they started off at $18 an hour. So that's good money, guys. It's good money. So you find that you can still do trade courses and you're good to go. Now there's this other one who told me about the result slip, that they know they have the result slip, and if that is a good for the DV lottery. Now the result slip is not good. You need your original KCSE certificate, or depending on your country. I know there are some countries who go up to A level, whereby they do from 6. You need all that stuff. Normally what they require is that they need you have to have gone up to class 8, and you have taken 4 years of high school. So that's what they require. So it's very, very important for you to know that you need the original documents. If you have lost them, contact the organization that the national organization, and they normally have those certificates. They can always give you a new one, but you have to pay. Of course, you have to pay some money for that. Now I have just something that I just want to share with you guys, that when I did my KCSE, when I finished high school, it took me like how many years? 12 years before I went back to get my KCSE certificate. Because when I finished high school, my mother was not in a position to pay for my balance. I owed 12,000 Kenya shillings, and my mother was not able to. And guys, I was a bright student, and my education just reached over there, and that was it. That was it. So later in life, I had done business. I was doing my business, and I had already gotten married. I had 2 kids. So there is nowhere in my life that I thought that I would go back to my high school to go and get my high school certificate. But I remember my husband always told me that one day we will go and get it. But we did not know that day, because you find that, when life comes, you have a family, you prioritize other things. So because at that time I was doing business and I was doing good, so I put that behind me. But I always wondered, it was always a mystery. What did I score in my KCSE? I always wondered about that, but I didn't know, because you find that I didn't even go to check because I was so embarrassed. Very, very embarrassed, because I couldn't even go to check, because I was like, I don't even have anything. How do I show up with nothing to go and ask what I got? So I never got to know. For a good 12 years, I didn't know what I had. So this DV lottery, for me, it was a blessing, because had it not been for the DV lottery, maybe even up to right now, I would not have gone. I would not have gone to get my results, because at that time, I didn't feel like they were a priority. But when we went, because I remember after we got the DV lottery, and we saw we got our second notification letter, they said that we required the KCSE certificate. So I had to go and get it. So one of the things that came on our budget is that we had to look for that money to go and pay for that certificate. But I remember when I finished high school is when President Moi was leaving, and President Kibaki came in, and he ended up paying all our balances, school balances. I don't know if it's someone else who can share that, but mine, that 12,000 shillings was paid by when President Kibaki came on. He cleared the fees, and we, sometimes and it's good like to follow up with what's going on, because if I was like following up with the politics, but I don't like keeping up with the politics, because for me, I believe that I don't so much believe in politicians, because some of them just talk and talk. Like right now, I know they're talking so much in Kenya, but when they're elected, they just go away. But there's something that I liked about President Kibaki, that he delivered. For me, when I look at all the presidents that have gone on in Kenya right now, my best one is President Kibaki, because he delivered. He was a very good economist, and he really helped. For me, he touched me because he paid my balance. He paid my 12,000 Kenyan shillings. So for me, I think whatever he is, I will always be grateful to him. You see what I mean? Because when we showed up, we had our balance money and we were ready to pay. But when we went to the secretary, she said, no, your fees was cleared a long time ago. And I was shocked, guys. Because for the first time, I remember sitting there on the form waiting and wondering, what did I get? And that was 12 years later, guys. So when I went and looked at my results, guys, I had even qualified even go to higher education. But unfortunately, poverty takes you to a space that, poverty is bad. It's unfortunate that So some of us have to go through a lot of hardship, but you find that it's good when you go through hardship. It molds you and you become a better person, and you understand even the other person who is going through something. You understand them better because you've been there. Being in the US doesn't mean that I haven't gone through stuff. Oh my gosh, I've gone through so much stuff that if I sat here and started telling my story, it would be whatever. Actually, I'm thinking of writing a book about me. I'm thinking about doing that, but I'm gonna put that aside until I am done with my studies, and then I am gonna do that. So guys, if you want for your certificate, it has to be the original one. You cannot take a result slip. Yeah, a result slip. You cannot take that. Now, so it's possible for me to get a stranger host. Yes, it is. It is. I told you we were hosted by someone that we did not know. And it is important, very, very, very important for you to start doing networking, guys. The people that you're connecting online, let them be friends. I'm not saying that you should not be friends with people, but look for friends with benefits. Someone who can connect you to someone. They don't necessarily need to host you, but you find that they can connect you to someone who can host you. So it's very, very important for you to do that. Now, what are the requirements for becoming a US Army, and how long does it take? When you're a permanent resident, you can apply to go to the military. You find that here, when you are 18, when you turn 18 and above, when you turn 18, you qualify to become to go to the whatever to the military. It's called the military. It's not called the army. It's called the military here. And you find that what you do, you go there. They give you some classes, some classes, some tests to do for English, for math. Some competency tests, and then you go to the area that you want. And it's very, very good because when you're a permanent resident and you join the military, you find that before you graduate, you will become a citizen when you're there, because by the time you become like a full military man, you have to be a US citizen. So that's a good thing. When you go there, you can become a US citizen after even before you get out of the military to go to the workforce. So that's a very, very, very good question. Now let's look. Now, for example, if I win the DV lottery and I'm outside of my country in Dubai, Qatar is etc. Am I supposed to go back to my country to start the process of the visa? Yes, you are supposed, because you applied as you were born in that country that you were born. This person is asking from they are from I lost that one. So whatever country that you are from, I lost that question. So whatever country that you are from, you have to go and process it there, because that's your country of birth. You have to go back and process it there. I've seen people who lived in there. I know people who lived in the UK and they won the DV lottery. They went back to Kenya to go and process their DV, and then they came back. They came here to the US. So it's very, very important for you to go back and do the process. Now, yeah. So let's look at another question. Does it mean that they take my passport when I win the DV lottery, then send it together with other travel documents having the approval letter via the DHL? No, they'll give you a green letter after the interview. When your visa has been approved, they will give you a green piece of paper. Now that green piece of paper, it said that you have been approved, whatever you have been given the visa, the 6-month one. And then you have given them the DHL address. So what they will do, your passport, they will stamp it with the visa on the first page or whatever page. It doesn't matter. As long as your passport has pages for 6 months, it's okay. So they will stamp it with the American visa, and they will send it together with the sealed envelopes to the DHL. And then you will get a notification in your email that your passport is ready, and you will go to collect it. And when you are going to collect your passport, you must produce your ID so that you are given your stuff. So it's good to know that. Okay. I want DV 2022 and we are financially stable. Do we still need our sponsor to fill out the whatever? I don't know why this person deleted this comment, because he says comment is no longer available. So I'm not going to dwell on that because it's halfway. So I don't know what they wanted me to answer. Okay, hi Charity, great information. I have learned a lot from this channel. Nice lesson. So thank you for that. Do F1 students need to go for medicals? Yes, they do. They need to go for medicals. because you find that even us, even when we are living here in the US, the first thing that they require us to do when we go to school is to have immunizations. Immunizations, you have to have those ones. And right now, they are requiring you to have a COVID vaccine. And even if you are even on the first shot, you tell them, this is where I am. They are requiring you to have that one. And of course, a physical examination. And if you come from out, they will require you to have a TB test that is not older than 5 years. So you will have you have to have a negative TB test. They will require that one. I remember when I started school, that is the first thing that they asked for me. So I had to go and do an X-ray because there's that skin test that they do, the tuberculin test. I'm so much allergic to that one, so I didn't do that one. I just went for a chest X-ray, and the chest X-ray is good because it's valid for 5 years. Although there's some companies who say it's 4 years, but I find that it's valid for 5 years and it's good. It's gonna keep you going before you decide to take another one. So very, 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 very good questions that I am getting here from you guys, and I do not see any more. So I'm going to try and see if I'll find someone that I can interview who had won the previous lotteries. But if I do not, don't to worry, guys, because I saw that question that I need to interview someone. And for me, I think I would like to interview someone who is current right now. I'm really looking for someone who won DV 2022. I hope that I find one. But I never, for me, I never lose hope because if I set my mind to do something, I do it. So I'm sure that very soon I will be bringing you someone here who won at the DV lottery 2022, and they can tell us like the story or whatever. I know there was someone who was shared on the WhatsApp group that they had been approved, and I sent them a message and they haven't responded yet. I hope that they respond, and it would be just like an awesome opportunity just to talk to them and to just for them to share, because things change. And when I won my DV lottery, that was 8 years ago, so things have changed, guys. And there was another person who was asking me, what does it mean when they tell you that your case number is at the NVC? NVC is the National Visa Center, the National Visa Center. So the NVC should be where the embassy is. So that means that your case is there, because when you win your DV lottery, they categorize you with your case number. They normally categorize you with your case number. And then another person was asking me, how comes some people, they fill out their applications early, the DS-260 early, and they send their stuff, they submit their stuff, and they don't get, and others submit theirs late, they fill out theirs late and submit it late, and the ones who are late, they are called before. Not so many dynamics there, guys, because let's assume that you filled out yours and there were some things that were remaining. They will whatever, they will send you an email, and then you will have to submit that document online, because right now you are not sending them by mail. So maybe you'll have to do some corrections. Maybe the numbers, the numbers, the numbers for whatever, the case numbers, like we do the visa bulletin every month. Also that matters. So there are so many dynamics, guys, that that really play into space. Maybe you submitted all your stuff, but maybe you didn't submit. You didn't tell them why you had changed your passport. There was a mistake somewhere. They will still email you and tell you to verify why, even if you're not sending documents before that day of the interview. If there is a mistake, and these mistakes happen, because even when we were looking at the application, just the green card application, you find that people are having a problem, especially with the mailing address. And I kept on telling you guys that the most important thing is your email. I kept on repeating about the email. You have to provide like a best email. Don't forget the password of your email, and do not forget that email address. Write it down. Take a picture of it. Why are you doing that? Because that one you require it. But you find that if you could put any address, you could put an address for next to your school. And I was saying that because you find that here we use the address. The address is like is where the mail comes in. But you find that in Africa, it's a little bit different. Most people do not even have a post office. So you find that that paper is set in the American standards. But when you go to on the ground in Africa, it's a little bit different. You find that some people, they share one mailbox. Other people do not have a mailbox. Like us, we didn't have a mailbox. Actually, I don't remember I think we used the address for someone, for a friend. You can still do that. So you find that it's a little bit different. Everything is different. And how you are going to be called for your interview depends on a lot of dynamics, guys. But you find that if you have received the first email to process, you have won and everything, and you have gotten whatever to fill out your DS-260, be hopeful that they are going to send you the second notification letter. But there's something that I normally say. You have filled out your DS-260 and you have waited the whole year, like now the people who are waiting to go to the interviews right now. You wait until it is September 30th, and you do not get your second notification letter. Sometimes, you might start asking yourself, because their year ends at that time. You find that is gone. That is gone. Because I tell you guys that the people who apply for the DV lottery are more than the green cards that are given. They give 50,000. So if it's 50,000 and maybe 10 million people had applied or whatever, the whole world is a whole world thing. And I told you it's divided in regions. Every region gets a certain percentage. So you find that all those dynamics come into play. But you find that after you win and they tell you have been selected, do your best, submit everything, and then wait. Be hopeful that you will get it. Because even us, when we got ours, like we were, for me, what I say, and when I sit here to do these shows of mine, I normally say that even in my family, if people were to be handpicked, I think I will be the last one to come to the US. I would be the last one. Even if we were handpicked by families, I would be the last one, guys. Because you find that, the African setting, especially in Central Province. Let me talk about Central Province, because Central Province, they have a lot of shenanigans, especially if a woman has gotten married and then they were left by their husband, they were abandoned. And then they went back home with kids. All that stereotyping and all that stigma that follows a woman who is single and they have kids. So we were at that, we grew up in that environment. So if we were, I would say that in that setting, you find that if you go back home with your kids and you're living in that homestead, you find that the kids that belong to the daughter who came back home with kids, they are lesser than the kids of the brothers. You see, that's what happens in Central. It's good to talk the truth because that's the truth. So you find that, for me, what I say is that if we were being handpicked, even in the whole of my extended family, guys, we would be the last ones to see that someone will be in the US, guys. You know what I mean? So you find that it is always good to have that faith that something good is going to happen in your life. It's always good, because you never know. Like, life is full of surprises. Life will give you surprises. And that is why I am here to tell you that if I am in the US right now, guys, anybody can come to the US, guys. So I hope that I have answered those questions. I will see you in a live show on Saturday, same time. If I get time, I don't know if I'll get time, because I have so much to do. I have so much homework to do even when I come from school. So I wish you all the best, guys. I hope that you enjoy this video, and see you another time in another video.